Hello again to the greatest fans in the world, fans of the Philadelphia Phillies. This is You Gotta Believe. It's Matt English, and is it time to believe? You can put it on the board. Yes. The Phillies weekend series is up against the Chicago White Sox. Remember Hawk Harrelson, that great call. The Phillies weekend is going to be filled with lots of fun. I can tell you this already. White Sox are amazing. They're 33 and 29 so far this season. They're in second place. Who are these Chi Sox? But the Phillies, of course, they're bringing to the game Jesus Luzardo. Tomorrow night, it's Andrew Painter, then Aaron Nola on the mound on Sunday to wrap things up, who, by the way, has picked up his season as well. Philly's starting pitching is absolutely amazing. Is that the reason, or one of the reasons, why we should believe in the 2026 Phillies? Well, here it is. Since I started YGB, you see what I did there? YGB, you gotta believe. The Phillies are 24 and 10. It was the day that Rob Thompson got fired, Don Mattingly took over. And since then, the Phillies are 24 and 10, which is the best record in baseball. That's it's all me, guys. The Phillies are in the wild card. That if the season ended today, they would be second spot in the wild card. And there's 100 games left in the season, and we saw what happened to us in April. That could happen to the Braves. This division is still definitely up for grabs. We can do so much. But again, I'll pat my back there. Started this wonderful vidcast series on the day he got fired, and they've just been awesome ever since. All right, so what happened this week in Phillies history? Great hitter, Phillies legend, Richie Ashburn, Whitey, secured a place in the record books. He hit safely in his 23rd consecutive game during a 6-5 win against the Chicago Cubs. It's before interleague play. This was a 20th century National League record for a rookie. So that happened this week in Phillies history. But really, what happened this week in Phillies history is what happened this week in Phillies history. The Phillies player of the week, record setting Christopher Sanchez, pitch after pitch, batter after batter, inning after inning, just continue to mow every single team down until after 50 and two-thirds innings, somebody got a hit to drive in a run. Jackson Merrill of the Padres. And after that hit, well-deserved standing ovation. One of the most dominating pitching performances I've seen in my lifetime. And been around a long time. I know. I saw when Oral Hershiser did his thing. But he's Sanchez, fifth now, all time in scoreless inning streak. Fifth with 50 and two-thirds inning. And the record for left-handed pitchers of the modern era. This is an absolutely amazing thing that he's been doing and has done, and this should continue in to the All-Star weekend a month from now. Oh, All-Star weekend, you say? Where is that being held? It's being held at Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia. So we're going to have Sanchez there. That's pretty much a no-doubter right there. Who else can the Phillies stuff the ballot box with to get onto the team and represent well for the 250th birthday of our country, as well as this great opportunity to have an all-star game? So I'm thinking right now, if I were just to see what we could do, who we could get in there just because they're good. You got Bryce Harper, of course. He's having a great year so far. Kyle Schwarber leading the league in home runs. I think he's right there. Duran, very good chance of that as well. Zach Wheeler, I can see that happening. And then Brandon Marsh, the guy who is either leading the league in hitting or right there in the top two or three, game after game after game. Those guys are all definites in my book overall. I think we've got a great representation coming to Philadelphia here in July. But go ahead and stuff the box, Phillies fans. It's what I did back in the 70s. We had these ballots and punched through them and stuff, and we picked up everybody's on the ground where they just tossed them aside and stuffed them in there. It was a lot of fun. Finally, today, I want to tell you about my experience this week going back in time. My boyhood memories came alive this week. I started following the new official Dwight Gooden Facebook page. Now, Dwight, he's not a Philly. He's a Mutt. Yep, he is definitely not somebody that we, as Phillies fans, ever really looked up to. But I did. Growing up in the 80s, I'd never seen a pitcher like him. I've been born and raised on lefty slider, and Tugger's always going to have my heart from what he did in 1980 for us. But baseball, early to mid 80s, suddenly had this phenom who barely looked older than me at the time and could make grown men cry with his heat and Lord Charles, that curveball. Doc, this past week, asked his followers about their first great memories of him, and here is what I wrote in response, and then here is his response to what I wrote. Yep, that is my childhood pitching hero right there, speaking directly back at me. God bless him. He looks like he's doing great and very excited to have that interaction with him. Yeah, I mean, you gotta love this game. And yes, you gotta believe.